Hello, everyone. This is Shaman Durek. I know it's been a while. And just kind of explaining to you, because I like to be very transparent about everything with you all. Um, it's been a while because I lost a family member and I lost a very dear friend. So it's been a bit of a challenge. So I've been dealing with that. And then, of course, there's other things going on in my personal life that are more how I say public things that are being amplified, not things that I can't handle. I just needed some time to be able to process everything. So I'm really happy to be here with you. And for me, it's been a challenge because, there's a lot of people asking me questions about what's going on. And as far as, the stuff that people are hearing about, the Jeffrey Epstein situation with my sister-in-law, and what my thoughts are about it. And I'm not quite ready to speak out. I will at some point soon. But right now, I'm not ready to speak out about it because I want to make sure that when I do speak out, it's done in a way that really sets the awareness. But there's one thing I cannot stand more than anything, and that is women being objectified and children and women being disregarded as powerful, amazing, gifted. I mean, I don't even know how to say it, you know? Um, I just think it's really, really, really messed up that people can be so disregarding to women and children. And, oh, you know, it's just not okay. It's not okay. I don't have any, I don't have any, I have no part of my being that accepts that level of abuse to humanity. And I know that there's a lot of people, people always say that I'm very strong, and it's true. I am resilient. My wife's resilient. We've gone through so much, people making lies about us and, trashing our Wikipedias and like creating all these stories about us that aren't true and doing it for, of course, profit and gain and for setting agendas and motions that they want to set to disregard us because of the fears that they have of the things that we share. So they want us to sound like we're crazy. I always find it fascinating that when you have something really powerful to say in this world, people will try to come and make you seem like you're crazy or you're a conspiracy theorist or you're any of these type of things because they don't want that information to get out and they know what position of power you have and who influences like what influences you have and where you stand in your position. So they're scared like, oh, what if he says this and people, hear what he has to say? So let's shut him down. Let's make him sound crazy. Let's make up lies about him and say things that are untrue. Like what was the big one that was a big propaganda about me was like, I said the SO cures COVID. I can't wait to share with you guys that truth and all the evidence on that because that never ever was said. I said that when I was on COVID, I did yoga, I used my SO, and I did a lot of sleeping, and I worked with Anina Mundi and all of her beautiful products. But I never said the SO cured COVID. But I always find it fascinating how human beings twist my words. Our people think that I think kids want cancer, which I never said that as well. I was talking to kids' bodies and asking questions about cancer, and people just misinterpret my spiritual teachings and my knowledge, and they make it what they want to make it. And that's their fact. That's their choice to do so. But people who know the truth about me and who have sat down with me, broken bread with me, or even had conversations with me or had sessions with me, my SO is truly one of those magical tools. I've ever have ever awesome stories to tell you about mine. That's amazing. I've been getting letters from all over the world of how the SO, the Spirit Optimizer, has changed it. But in Norway, of course, they want to call it a medallion, as what they um have decided to call it, to put it down because they're scared again of anything that goes outside of the box of where they feel safe. I'm at a point right now, and I'm just going to be completely open with all of you because I love you so much. I don't give a flying F about it. Okay. I don't care about what the press writes about me. I mean, every day I read a news story. It's like, oh, really? I didn't know I did that. Oh, that's interesting. I went to prison. Okay. It's like you just realize that when you step out into this world, especially today, then this time right now, as you know, I'm wearing my red because we are in the fire horse season. And let me tell you, a lot of shit is about to come undone. A lot of things are about to be exposed. And you know what? Let it be, because I am so sick and tired as a spiritual, loving being that we all are, right? We are lit leaders of legacy. We are all here as teachers and masters of helping each other to reclaim our power and recenter ourselves in our authority of truth, authenticity, and love. We have no more time for anyone's bullshit. We have no more time for it whatsoever. You know? Yeah, people can say, "Oh, you're cursing." You know what? There's two types of cursing. There's cursing to hurt someone, and there's cursing to edify energy because if it's based on intention. So yes, I'm cursing. The point I'm making is we have no time for bullshit. I'm gonna call it like it is and say it like it is. And the reason why we have no time for bullshit is because we are here to do great things. And we are here to bring our creativity, our spirit, our joy, our happiness, our curiosity into things that actually make us feel empowered as human beings. We are not here to feel beaten down by the world. We are not here to go like, oh my God, what is happening to our world? You know what's happening to our world? Things are being exposed and things are being shared. So we know who people really are and what they're really doing. And at the end of the day, what matters more than anything is you, how you feel, your health, your well-being, the people you surround yourself, your beautiful family, your beautiful children, and the community that you are sharing your love and energy with. I don't care if someone comes to you and starts gossiping, be like, you know what? Honestly, I don't have time for that. I'm not going to sit here and listen to your gossip. I'm not going to listen to your gossip. Unless you're talking good about somebody, I don't want to hear it anymore, right? Because we're in the fire horse, and the fire horse is about like we went through the snake period. We shedded those skins. We got rid of people in our lives who weren't really coming from love and kindness and dignity and respect and and courageous, courteous behavior, as we say. We are not making space anymore for people who don't really want to be in our lives, people who don't want to show up and celebrate us as we celebrate them. We do not have time for that anymore. We do not have time for gossip. We don't have time for people trying to pull our emotions here and there with all the polarized leaders who are acting like morons on the planet. We don't need to be dealing, oh, this person and this thing and that thing and that thing. No, we have to educate each other, to remind each other of why we are doing what we're doing. We are here to remind each other, to educate each other, and to stay in that space of truth, honesty, and integrity. That's it. Everything else is off the table. I don't care. That's the energy we have to hold for this fire horse. Is I don't care if it's not lifting me, shifting me, supplying me, celebrating me, expanding me, elevating me, if it's not bringing more money, more success, more happiness, more peace of mind, more centeredness, more spiritual authority, more honesty, more authenticity, I don't care. These are our words. I don't care. Because the more we keep saying yes, yes, yes to all of this nonsense, we are flooding our nervous systems. We are filling our bodies with all kinds of toxins and energies because we're creating inflammation and high levels of cortisol and releasing all this stuff. And then it makes us what? It makes us eat and not good food. You know, you eat sugar, you're spiking your insulin. The more you spike your insulin, you're either putting on weight if you're not burning off all of that glucose, and you're not really creating the sustainable body that you need to feel lit. You should feel lit. We are lit leaders. So yeah, it's I don't care. I don't care. So we're not here to try to fix people's problems anymore that don't want to be fixed. Let me tell you something. There's nothing worse in the world than a friend asking you to support them, and then you share something with them, and then they just really waste your time and energy playing this game called you're wrong and I'm right. I don't care about the wrong and right. You know what? You want to be right? You want a trophy? I'll make you one when I have time, right? But it's I don't care. I don't care to argue with you. I don't care. If we want to share ideas and different opinions and learn from one another, our different viewpoints, I'm open to that. But if you want to play power games with me, I don't care. You want to gossip? I don't care. You want to tell me that the world is falling apart? I don't care. Because I focus only on the world getting better. But to get better, things got to get a little bit, how do you say? It's got to get uncomfortable, because human beings have not learned the golden truth, which is you have two ways to evolve. You can evolve through love, or you can evolve through pain. And human beings love to evolve through pain. They love to get triggered and annoyed and agitated until they finally start digging deeper in who they are, what they believe, what their real values are. Maybe I had a friend of mine who used to talk about opening up a women's organization. She didn't do it. And then when things got really crazy, when she started seeing all these male chauvinist men out there in the world making comments on podcasts, and that's another thing, guys. Seriously, if you're this Burning Man type guy who's done tons of ayahuasca and you're like this macho alpha blah 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 kind of guy, and you honestly think going on a podcast with a bunch of other of your bro men and going on and talking about women issues when there's no women present, can you please just shut up and just put the microphone down and shut up? Because you don't have any right to speak about anything on any level when it comes to women's bodies, their health, what they believe, what they think, all these different things. I mean, just shut up. Oh my goodness. I mean, as a spiritual, divine, loving soul that I am, I say it with all grace and bounty. Just shut up. There is no reason for you to open your mouth about women at all. I don't care if you did 12 ayahuasca ceremonies. I don't care if you walked on Tony Robbins' fire and you feel like you're some kind of alpha man guy, whatever. And you feel like you're going to go with your bro men up in Tulum or in Ibiza or somewhere else in the world and talk about women when there's not a woman present. Shut your mouth. Women, if you're going to talk about women, ask a woman. Ask women. Don't talk about women anymore. I'm so sick of it. And also, just by the way, just to kind of give you truth about things, doing ayahuasca 7 times in a row does not make you spiritual. Actually, it just makes you a drug addict who's hiding behind plant medicine. If you really want to have a deep shamanic, real, honest, true truth, spiritual experience with plant medicine, you do the plant medicine not inside of an apartment, not inside of a closed building, not in someone's like penthouse apartment. No, you do the ayahuasca in nature with a qualified shaman, and then you do the internal things that you need to do. You don't just go and say, okay, I did ayahuasca, next week I'm going to do it again, and then the next week I'm going to do it again, and the next week I'm going to do it again. No, what you have done is you've traded being a drug addict to thinking that you can hide in the plant medicine world, still keeping yourself high. And if you're a person who spends every single day microdosing because you think that you need to microdose every single day and this is the only way you can function, you have a drug problem. Okay? We're not going to make excuses for you anymore. We're not going to pretend like, oh my God, really? Wow, you had such an amazing experience. That was so powerful. No, dude, seriously, you were partying and going to house music and doing raves and doing tons of drugs, and you switched over to ayahuasca and peyote and ibogaine and all these things. You're still doing the same thing. You just changed it to make it more acceptable. You're still a drug addict. Go fix yourself. Stop fucking around. I mean, seriously, seriously. And 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 the other thing too, just because you've done ayahuasca or you've done any of these things does not make you a spiritual person. A spiritual person is not a person who does plant medicine and wakes up and goes, oh my God, I'm super enlightened. Enlightenment isn't something that you just reach. It's a lifelong journey. I've spent my whole life since I was 8 years old studying shamanism, in my family's culture and African and West African roots, diving deep into religion and other people's belief systems, other people's ideas, consciousness on all different spiritual levels. And trust me, I do not see myself as a fully enlightened being, because I want to continue this journey of learning how to fall in love with myself even more, fall in love with my community even more, fall in love with people even more, and discover new things to love about myself. You know, when people say, oh, you have to learn to love yourself, I'm like, I'm like, uh, I love myself, or I wouldn't even be sitting here in front of you with clothes on. Okay. The fact that I got out and I'm actually getting a reading from you and you're telling me I need to love myself. How about, why don't you spice up the way you love yourself? Learn new ways to love yourself, discover new things about yourself, enhance that love for yourself. I get so sick of this like black and white nonsense that people do on planet Earth. It's like, it's kind of like, what? And just religious people, okay? I know some of you like to like braze through my lives and like hear what I have to say, so I've got some stuff for you as well too. Okay, so let's go with the first one because I know there's a lot of like very polarized people out there who are really like wanting to be, this religious person. Okay. So here's the thing, right? There's a thing called integrity. I don't know if you got this, but maybe you haven't. So I'm going to help you understand what integrity means. Okay. So integrity is the ability to understand that when you are talking about something or doing something, like for instance, like you want to follow the Bible, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like I've studied the Bible, backwards, forwards, and upside down, and the Quran and the Talmud and the Torah, and I also got into Hinduism, and I love all of the different things that, I find, except for the things where you use it as a weapon against people. So let's just clear up the air for a second. Okay. So one, if you're going to follow a book, don't pick and choose in your book. Follow the whole thing. Stop wearing designer clothes, like put on some sack clothes because it says you're not supposed to mix wool and cotton and other materials because that's considered an abomination. And really start really honoring every single thing that it says in the Bible. Stop picking and choosing like it's some order, some menu at some restaurant, and you're like, today I'll have sin on and against homosexuals. That's not okay, but I'll have this. Like, no, this isn't Shea Grula, okay? This isn't like no. And secondly, Jesus is not blonde hair and blue eyed. I know it's hard for a lot of people to understand that, who have really created this idea of Jesus looking like some kind of surfer that came out of Hawaii or some like really cool surfer movie. But I'm sorry, it's not the truth. And if Jesus was, Jesus also has skin, dark skin. You can look at it says in the Bible. I don't know why it's so difficult for you to understand. I lived in Israel for 4 years and also spent a lot of time in Palestine. And let me tell you something, okay? The dark skin is there. So let's just understand that Jesus is brown and he has woolly hair. Okay, woolly hair, yeah. And yeah, and I'm sure if Jesus walked on your doorstep today, you'd probably call him a sinner because Jesus didn't judge and Jesus didn't talk about hell. Like, if you actually read the original text of Jesus, not the one that was remade by other people, you would realize that Jesus never talked about hell. It's actually, if you really want to learn about what Jesus actually said, go study Aramaic because that's the original teachings, and that's the language that Jesus spoke, which is Aramaic. And Jesus talked about the fire burning it outside of in the trash of Jerusalem, because in Jerusalem they used to have this place where they burnt trash, and so that's what he was talking about, fire of the trash, right? And he was saying, like, if you betray your soul, you might as well put yourself and burn yourself in the fire of trash. He didn't say you're going to go to hell. He didn't say that you're going to be damned for all life. I know religious people have used all of that because we've been like manipulated and numbered through Social Security and all these different things on Earth, because we're basically in one giant slave camp, and we're doing everything we can to like wake up and get out, right? But the truth of the matter is that consider me like Morpheus, right? But I'm the kind of Morpheus in the Matrix that is literally going to be like calling out the nonsense left and right. And we can't just keep being like manipulated by people and their false beliefs without them doing their due diligence. Oh, and here's another one, just so you guys can tell people. Whenever someone comes to you and says, I don't believe that because I'm logical, call them on their bullshit, okay? Because logical means I'm going to go do my due diligence and figure it out and see if it's real. Logical doesn't mean I'm logical and that's it and it's done and I don't believe it. That's not a logical person at all. That's an ignorant person. That's a person who's scared of the unknown. That's a person who's afraid to leave their box. That's a scared little simp. Okay? That's what you're dealing with. You're not dealing with a logical person who has thought through it and really did their due diligence and figured out if it's true or not. No, you're not dealing with that person. You're dealing with a person who's scared as you can imagine. They're scared as scared can be, like shaking bones and all. They're scared of anything outside of their little tiny itsy bitsy teeny weeny polka dot box. Okay? And that little box that they're in is what they're actually talking about. What they're actually talking about is that they are fake intellectuals. They are not people. Thank you, my sweet love, for that. They are not people who are thinking outside and looking and seeing if things are actually what they are. They are just shutting it off, closing it off. And trust me, you don't really want to spend your time talking to those people because they've already made up their mind that they're going to be little simps inside their little boxes. And unless you have a really deep heart for them and you feel like you maybe could get them to pull a leg out of a box or an arm out of the box or a hand out of the box, you're really pretty much wasting your time, right? Because at the end of the day, it's a very interesting thing. Oh, and you know what's really interesting? Oh, I'll tell you what's really interesting. So, what's fascinating, I find, is how people will judge you, and then when they see something worse than what someone has judged you on, when most of the times the things that they judge, like I'll give you an example, like let's use Norway, for instance, okay? And don't get me wrong, I love Norway. I love Norwegian people. Every time I'm out and about, I'm hugging people, taking pictures, giving them my love and all that. But seriously now, just because the press made up all these lies about me and so forth, and like basically put a lot of money in a bunch of people's pockets for basically unreliable sources that never went to any real sources, like people, big sources that I've worked with and shared and broke bread with for years, but no, unreliable sources. Um, they believed all of that and like created all like this hate towards me, like writing me every day and telling me all these horrible things and whatever. And I just sat back and was just like, okay. you know. And what's funny now is now we're dealing with something else happening in Norway, which has a lot to do with other things that I will not mention, but I'm sure if you do your due diligence, you'll figure out what it is. And now everyone's like, oh my God, what you did was not so bad. Well, it wasn't so bad because it wasn't true, but you believed it and let yourself get triggered and emotionally upset with me and angry about me for no reason whatsoever. And and then you find out that someone can do that you've put up on a pedestal can do something a lot more worse than what you thought I did. And then now everyone's like, oh my God, like I had no idea. Here's an interesting thought, okay? And I'm not going to go too deep into it because I'm not ready to talk about it. But here's an interesting thought. Instead of judging people by what you read in the press about them, and I'm not saying everything in the press isn't true, but majority, if you have someone who's in the world who's like me, who loves humanity and wants to see us like get out of this slave consciousness, chances are you're going to find a lot of horrible things about me because that's what human beings need it to be, because they're unhappy with my position and who I am and what I talk about and the fact that I'm real as AF. Okay. And so when people don't like the fact that there's someone who's out there who's sitting at a certain level in society and has a voice and has influence in that voice, they're going to do everything they can to make you look crazy or tear you down or say crazy things about you, trash whatever they can about you on the internet, and so forth. But I tell you this, no matter if they do that to you, which they've done to me, and that's okay, because I'm a quadruple Scorpio, for God's sakes. I let myself burn in the fire and I take all the pain and all the stuff, and I'm like, "Ah," and then I go through it and I'm like, oh, now I know how to do this, right? Um, you said they hate black people, point blank and period. Well, I won't say all Norwegians hate black people because that's not true. Because I know a lot of beautiful Norwegians when I walk down the street who give me a hug and come up to me. But yes, there are some Norwegians that obviously do not like me and the fact that I'm happily married to the woman of my dreams that is the love of my life. I don't know why people make comments like, he doesn't seem like I seen his Netflix show. He doesn't seem like he really loves her. I'm sorry. What does that mean for you? Am I supposed to do some song and dance for you? Am I supposed to be like, dance, dance, now dance, show us that you love her? No, if you don't know that, if you can't see the love that I have for my wife, then you are blind to love, period. That's the truth of that. But getting back to what I was saying is, when you ever step into a position in life where you are here to be a truth seeker, a truth teller, a person who lives authentically to who you are, non-apologetically, which is how I live, right? When you operate in this way, when you begin to live your life where you are not fakery, you are not doing faff. You know what I call faff, right? Faff is what a thing that we say a lot in my friend group. Faff is fake as fuck, right? When you're being fake as fuck. Like if I see something, I'm like, oh God, that person's so faff, right? Because they're being fake. They're like smiling in my face and talking behind my back. It's like, if that's what you need to do, go ahead and do it, right? But when you are being a fakery type person, then it's normal for you to be that. But when you're being truthful and loving and honest and authentic and like living unapologetically, that's when the trolls come out. That's when they get upset. That's when they're like, ooh, we gotta ruin your reputation. Ooh, we gotta put you down. Ooh, we gotta say bad things about you. Pay attention to this, my darling, because as time moves on in this year of the fire horse, you are going to see two things. You're going to see people who are being exposed for who they really are because the masks are coming off. You're going to know who's doing what and how they're doing it because the masks are going to come off. They're not even going to pretend anymore. They're going to be like, yep, I did that. Yeah, that's right. I'm an evil person. Yes, you're going to get that. Okay. And then you're going to get the people who are speaking the truth and speaking authenticity, and the people are going to call them, they're going to call them things like, oh, they're a conspiracy theorists, and they're 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 spreading lies, and they're evil, and they're doing all these things. You know why? Because they don't want their voices to be heard. Yes. I kid you not. I kid you not. And let me tell you something. This year, we are going to turn it up. Also, if you are a person, and I'm just going to put that out there, if you are a person of color, because I really want to focus on some women of color's voices because they're not getting heard enough. I see all of these spiritual people, and I notice why. It's because a lot of people aren't used to listening to people of color like share knowledge and wisdom, because it's been a universal program thing on this planet to not trust voices that come from people of color. But it's enough is enough, right? Like, I love all people, all colors, all shapes, all sizes, all everything. Okay. But we have to start removing all of these energies and things that are limiting us from seeing the most important thing, which is to love each other and our differences. Love our uniqueness. Start accepting people for their uniqueness. Celebrate it. You see a man walk down the street with high heels and he's wearing a boa, celebrate him. You know how hard it was for him to put that boa on and those high heels? Give me a break. Come on, people. You see someone speaking out and doing things that are different than what other people do. They're not trying to fit into this little box. Celebrate the diversity on this planet. Celebrate it. Those are the gateways that lead us into a new world, a world of love and acceptance, a world of kindness, a world of generosity, a world where we can see and accept one another and make space for one another on a huge planet like this. I mean, we can do it in heaven. We can do it here. We can create a space for everyone to exist, but don't be sitting there trying to put people down for being different. No. Yes, there is a lot of people doing some really messed up things on planet Earth. And trust me, I am not for it on any level. Okay. I am not for it, nor is my wife. But what I will say is this, right? We are not going to let them, right, take over with all that negativity. We are not going to let them do that. Dirk, do you have a Leo ascendant? That's a good question. You would have to do my chart. My birthday is 11/17/1974. If you are an astrologist, go ahead and figure it out. Because I just know that I am a Scorpio, quadruple Scorpio, Capricorn. So again, we don't have the time nor space to be dealing with that kind of energy. Stop letting it pull your energy and attention away from what's important, which is you, which is your community, which is your family and the close friends. And if your friends are not showing up with love and respect, they got to go. No more space, no more time, no more wasting time. That's it. We have the same birthday. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Your husband, oh, he must be amazing. Can't wait to meet him one day. So the point I'm saying is that we are at a time, a transitional time where the universe is saying, okay, for those of you who see the nonsense and the things that are happening on the planet that are not in alignment to truth, what are we going to do to lift the vibration of light and frequency and love and joy and generosity and kindness and being there for our community to lift each other up even stronger during these times? Right? So that we can transform the energies that are taking place on the planet that are trying to oppose us and put us into slave consciousness even deeper. Because you know what? You ain't not going to put me in no chains, and you are not going to enslave me. And that's the energy we have to understand, is that this is a slave planet. I know you think you're free because you can take a vacation to some place like Bora Bora or something like that. But baby boo, this is a slave planet. And we got things to do to remove these chains from the people on this planet, including ourselves. Okay? Please. People think they can go to Bora Bora. I went to Paris. I went to Bora Bora. I stayed at this beautiful resort. You're still a slave, boo. As long as the system is operating the way it is, you are still a slave. So get out of you. You may had a little vacationary, okay? Got down some little vacationary on you. But at the end of the day, until we are all free, none of us are free. Okay? Let's be real about it. Let's be real about it. That's the reason why I don't believe in guru consciousness. So if you think I'm a guru, you better hang up your coat and put it away and don't let me see that, okay? Because that's not how it goes. I am not a guru. I am a human being with a huge heart that loves people, loves my family, loves my wife, loves my kids, loves myself, loves God, loves all the spirits in the spirit world, both in the light and in the dark, because I love them too. Even though they're little, they have lost their way. I will help them find their way home when they're ready. But I am not a guru. I am here to remind you of your mastery. I am here to remind you of the power that you have inside of you to overcome all things. I am here to remind you that you are a leader. You're a leader. I'm a leader. We're all leaders here to help each other rise and lift this planet. I'm not into it. I'm not into people, gurus, and people writing me. People keep writing me and saying things like, we want you to be king and all that. Let me tell you something, okay? I will never be king. I don't want to be king. That's the only king I represent is the king in the mother and the queen in heaven. I am a child of God. That's what I will always be. That's what I will always be. I will always be me. I'm not trying to be nobody's king. I don't know why all the kids are writing me and talking about we want you to be the king and we want you and Martha to take over. No, that's not Martha and I's role in this lifetime. Sorry. Me and Martha's role in this lifetime is to be spiritual guides and hold space for the mastery and the intelligence and the love and the divinity that lives in each and every one of you. We are children of the kingdom. We are not here to be up with no titles and things like that. And no, 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 no. Of course, my wife has a title because she was born into that family, but that is not why we are here. We are here to spread love. We are here to speak truth. We are here to be creative and to hold space for all of you to see the power and the energy that you wield so beautifully from your life in heaven into your life on earth. And that's it. And don't you forget that. So when you people are writing me hundreds and hundreds of messages all day long, talking about with all the drama happening in Norway, now you and Martha need to step up. Sorry, no. Not when things all of a sudden are getting worse and now everybody wants Martha and I to step up. No, we have been just who we are. Look, we got punished in Norway for being spiritual, for loving God the way we choose to love God. Not the way that the religious people want us to love God. Even though I do love Jesus, I still love God, my mother and father, God. I love Jesus. I love Allah. I love Buddha. I love them all because they're all a part of the same energy. I don't know why people can't get that. I don't understand why people can't get that. How many lives I've lived on this planet and still people can't get that? People be fighting about who's God's right God and my God is God, and your God is God, and God. And I don't even want to hear the word God because it irritates me because people misuse the word God. So let's call it source and let's call it divine spirit. Da, da, da. Who cares? What are the antics for? It's all going to the same place, people. When I died, when I was in my late 20s, I got to the other side. I asked who God was. I saw everybody there. So stop. Choose what path feels most enlightened to you. But when you use God as a weapon, that is against God. I don't care if it's Allah, if it's Jesus, if it's Buddha, if it's Muhammad, if it's Joseph, I don't care if it's Jehovah, I don't care. Yahweh, I don't care. You use God as a weapon, you go against God completely because God is pure love, period. Pure love, one love, one love. One's heart, let's get together and it'll be all right. Okay? Enough is enough, people. We've got to live the truth. And I am so tired of listening to people's comments and everyone's got some opinion these days. I said, is your opinion helping humanity grow? No? Then shut up. You know, just like I said, men have no right to be taking ayahuasca and meeting up in Tulum and Ibiza and all these places and having nerve to have podcasts. Who gave you a microphone to begin with and to have the nerve to talk about women? Talk about yourself. Talk about yourself. Don't be talking about women anymore. So yeah, I'm calling forth all women of color. I don't care. Come forth, write me a thing. I want to get you on my podcast. I want to start really loading up my podcast with women's voices because I am not playing games anymore. Women have a lot of knowledge and wisdom to share, and nobody is going to shut down women on this planet as long as I have breath. And I'm sick and tired of women being objectified. I'm sick and tired of children being mistreated. We are not honoring the sacredness of our divine mother. And look, I mean, why is there so much hate towards women? I mean, okay, well, if you are insecure and you feel like you're not anything and all you have is your bank account and the money that you have to be able to like woo woo a woman, because you don't understand women, because you don't understand how women think and how they feel and how they connect, and all they want you to do is show up and hold space for them, listen to them, you know, realize they have a lot of wisdom to share. Hello. Um, that's why they so angry. Be angry. They be angry. The things that are happening is just the same things that happened back in the days, in Japan when they were doing all of the comfort women. Like they're just angry. And if you have anger, if you're a man and you're angry with women, you got some serious issues. You need to go get some help. And it ain't going to be ayahuasca that saves you. You need to go in and you need to be clear-minded and look at that stuff because that's got to go. Okay? That's got to go because there's so much wisdom and power and energy and life. Women bring life and children and all of that, a representation. We have to stand up against those tyrannies. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. I don't care. I don't care. And all this Epstein file stuff, I'm gonna bring it on. I'll get them. I want to hear more. I want to know who else is in there because I want it all exposed. Everybody needs to get exposed because if you didn't know what you were doing, that's because you fool in, because you knew good and well. So let's expose this nonsense so we can get on with the fire horse here because we got things to do and we have things to create and we have things to elevate and we have things to shift into a whole new perspective. And that's where we're coming in. Honopono. That's right. All of us and ours to heal. That's right, baby. Aloha nui loa. Yes, exactly. And so, yeah, this is the fire horse. Make sure you wear your red because we're going to bring in that abundance, boo. Bring it in. Bring it in. Um, I feel like people are going to keep demanding and forcing people to be held accountable. And I think that should be something that people don't let up on because people should know better. And there's a lot of things going on right now in the world, and we can't be doing that, you know? It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. Cannot be hurting women and children. I'm not for it. Not at all. Uh, yes, red does signify abundance. Yes. So we are at this beautiful transitional time right now. We're coming out of the snake where we were shedding our skins. Some of you might be shedding your skin a little bit more. Do you see that satanic system collapsing? Eventually, yes. But it's going to take a lot of work from all of us powerful lit leaders of legacy. And we're coming into the fire horse, and the fire horse is going to take off like a kaboom. And that means that there is no more time for nonsense anymore. So everywhere you need to step up in your life, if you're sitting there telling yourself you're not good enough, cut it out. If you're sitting there telling yourself, I don't do enough, cut it out. If you're putting yourself down on any level, cut it out. Enough is enough. Who are you putting down anyway? And why are you putting yourself down to begin with? I mean, you could be putting yourself up, telling yourself amazing things, looking and like just really looking at yourself and being like, yeah, I love you just the way you are. And then we're going to get better and better every single day. There is no reason for you to put yourself down, compare yourself, put expectations on yourself, and create all this kind of nonsense. Cut it out. If I got to get up in your head, I'm going to be like, cut it out. A friend of mine the other day started saying some crazy stuff. I was like, oh, no. No, 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 no. You are not going to pollute my ears today. I woke up, meditated, prayed. I'm so happy, felt a good energy. You are not going to put that in my mind today. Speaking of prayer, I lost a family member and a dear friend, his wife and his beautiful children. One of them I got to be a blessing father for her. I'm not going to say names because that's their private life, but I just want to say that I know a lot of people have lost people. And I just want you to know that these people are in good places. They're in beautiful places. And we just have to keep moving forward and sending love to everyone and look at the beautiful times we share with people because there really is no loss. I'm happy that I can talk to spirits because I talk to my family all the time, I talk to my friends. Yes, bless James's heart. He's such an amazing person. His wife and him are amazing, 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 amazing. That's all I can say. Amazing 1,000 times. When I lived in Los Angeles, we used to spend a lot of time together, and they always were so gracious to me. This is when I first met Martha. I was going through a lot with the media and the press and the way people were attacking me every day. And I would just go to their house and they would just give me some pep talks that just soothed my soul. And the way he loves his children and how my bonus kids would play with his kids, and we'd all be meditating and doing fun stuff together. Every person's life he's ever walked into, it's been nothing but joy. He is such a pure heart. I think the thing that hurt me the most about losing him was like, he's one of the good guys. I'm tired of losing good guys. And there's all these other people on the earth that aren't so great and they're still living. And why do the good guys have to leave? That's the kind of thing that bothers me. But, it is what it is. I have to accept life the way it shows up. And, I'm not going to fight God on it. It is because there's a bigger reason that I probably don't even see why these things happen. But I'm grateful for everyone who donated to Kimberly and the kids, because Kimberly's the most purest, purest woman. Her heart is pure gold. I mean, the way she loves her children and the way she loves people and the way she and her and James have showed me and Martha so much love. Um, yeah, amazing, 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 amazing. I always feel that the good people leave because they're meant to, I believe a lot of us are angels incarnate, that took on human forms, and some have come for a season, for a reason. And I believe that there's certain beings that need to be held on the other side to support things that are happening on this side. And I think that, in God's kingdom, we're eternal beings, so there is no end. So I think that for a lot of people, some people just leave because they know they're going to do more on the other side than they can here. I lost my beloved friend of 37 years. Pancreatic cancer took her out. Yeah, cancer. I can't wait till we have a cure for cancer. I'm really, really looking forward to science and the holistic world figuring that out. If people just put their minds together, we'd probably be there already. We could just take the allopathic medicine, holistic medicine, awareness of all the different Chinese medicine and everything, and just like sit down and have a talk, you guys, and like figure this out, that we could actually figure a way to make health better for people on planet Earth. It's crazy. It's crazy that we don't use all available resources and we separate resources. Pancreatic cancer is horrible. Any form of cancer is horrible. That's why I was so pissed when people were like, "Oh yeah, Dirk thinks children unhappy and they get cancer." Like, what? What kind of craziness do you think I think? That's crazy. I don't think like that. But anyway, um, yeah, it's just really sad. Yeah, I lost my family to cancer too. I had a lot of family members who died, my grandfather, grandmother, different members of my family. It was really hard. I've lost friends to cancer. We just wait, wait a second. We just do our contract. We just do our contract, and how else are we going to get a Disney subscription in heaven? Yeah, I'm waiting for Disneyland. I love Disneyland. I'm sure for those of you who know me very well, Martha and I love Disneyland. We can't wait to get back to the States to go back to Disneyland. But I'm just focusing on our world getting better. I don't care what all these cuckoo birds are doing because these cuckoo birds they have a time limit, and their limit will be pulled one by one. You'll see. And mark my words when I say that that time will run out for a lot of these people in a short time, because this planet is getting filled with so much love by people like us. And that's going to continue to change the vibrational field of all of that. And so, therefore, those who are holding that low vibrational field just won't be able to exist or supply themselves on this planet. So, they can just keep doing what they want to do. I'm not putting my energy there. I'm putting my energy on love. I'm putting my energy on the kindness of people. I'm putting my energy on healing. I'm putting my energy on all of these things. So that's where I'm at. And one day I'll get a person who will offer me a kidney, and I will get a kidney transplant, and I will be traveling the world again and visiting you and giving you hugs and like doing all kinds of wonderful things to share my love with you, because I have so much more to give. And I am not going to just be stuck on this machine and lay down and be like, oh, this is it. I have so much love to give, and I am going to succeed, and making sure that all the masters and leaders are fully charged and ready to use their power on this planet and shift this planet into a star kingdom. And that is what I believe. So pray for me. Do pray for me. Because my wife and I's plan this year is to, somehow get me a kidney. So I love you all so much. I now have to go and nourish myself. I have some friends who are stopping by, so I need to prepare things. But I will do another live soon where I'll do live healings, as you guys love to see, and me to perform and to be of support for people here, because I know a lot of people are going through a lot. Um, and if you are interested in being a kidney donor to me, please send me a message, because I have a lot of things I want to do in the world to create more love and to change this system for the better. And I know my wife and me and all of us, we can do it together, but we need to do it together. It cannot be a solo mission. So when you think about your path in life, think about it as a community lifting, right? We got to do this together. Anyway, I love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. And if you haven't seen the Netflix show, because some people said to me that you haven't seen the Netflix, it's called Rebel Royals. It's somewhat of a love, it's my love story with my wife. It doesn't show the depths of everything, of who we are. You know, it's a little bit salacious thanks to Netflix. But you know, it does show kind of the things we've gone through and so forth. And the fact that we got to our destination, which took us forever to get to. I mean, talk about a long time getting there to get married to the woman of my dreams. But other than that, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Write me, let me know what you thought about it. I love you so much. And remember, no one has the right to say anything about you unless they're talking from the highest level of love. And if they're not talking from the highest level of love, what are we going to say? I don't care. Someone wants to gossip? I don't care. Okay? That's what it is. Oh, thank you so much for saying so, my love. Thank you. I was like, is it field a family? I have to look at that one so fast. Okay. I love you. I'll see you soon. I'm super excited to see you soon. Okay. Mwah. Bye, sweethearts.